You are about to witness history in the making.
Hello, good evening, welcome, good morning and good night everybody. It's the Pop Culture Gamers podcast here. My name's Haydn and I'm, as always, here with Steve. Hi Steve, how are things?
I've got a bottle of red wine with me, so it's all good.
Well, we don't know how the evening's going to pan out, if he's going to be doing a bottle of red wine over the show, but we'll carry on. So, Steve, tell us about your week, or your couple of weeks, because we didn't do a show last week.
No, well, gaming-wise, we know we're going to be discussing a bit of that later. Destiny 2, of course. But as you know, excuse me, and well, by now some people might realise on Twitter or whatever, that is, I've got to move home.
Yes.
And I've been here 3 years, believe it or not.
Yeah, been a good while, hasn't it?
I know. I mean, it's unfortunate that the reason we're going is not through our choosing. It's an unfortunate. It's just due to the people that own the house had a death in the family, and that's a part of what was to do with us being in the house.
Yeah.
So, by the by, that's the way it goes. So we knew before she passed away that we had to deal with it. So we've been looking for a house. We found one 2 weeks ago. And we just walked up to it and said, I like this one, we'll buy it, we'll have it, sort of thing, even without looking inside.
Yeah.
But we look around, it's really nice. It's in a nice, quieter area. So we're not going to be on a main road like I am at the moment.
Yeah.
And I've got a room for me, which is more important than anything else. So from that point of view, that's all going to come together on the 1st, 2nd of November.
Still room for your hot tub?
Yes, I did. Actually, speaking about that, I drained it today.
Right.
And drained that, and then I wiped it all clean, put the cover on for now, because then I'm going to either deflate it, depending on how I do this, but we found a nice little spot. I'm going to have to get myself one of those, what can you get those, like, not tents, but it's like a 4-pole with a roof.
Yeah, like an awning sort of
gazebo,
thing.
isn't it?
Gazebo,
sort of
yeah.
That's it, yeah. So there's a gazebo I can get for that. So that'd be pretty cool. But that's probably going to be put away now, or just left empty, because you can't have that. If you've got water in the pump at the time and it freezes, it could damage it.
Yeah.
So for a few months it'll be out of action.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, I've been dealing with that. I've got the garage to do with a skip next week, which I'm not looking forward to, but I said to the wife it shouldn't be a problem. I've got to organise, as you can imagine, amount of things to I've got post to redirect. I've got a few places like Amazon to put new addresses on. It's a quadri of things I've got to deal with there.
Change your credit card address,
yes,
and your bank account and all that sort of stuff.
Gas, water, electric. Now, as you saw, I did ask for a little bit of I'm just in the region of trying to sort out my services for Sky and broadband.
Mm-hmm.
And when I spoke to you, the thing is, if you won't speak to anybody on the phone, you sit there for 20 minutes with your phone going off.
Yeah.
So I did it on the text service, they do.
Mm-hmm.
So yesterday I came on and started chatting to them. Gave my new address, asked. I'd already preempted this and looked to see what speeds I would get for, first of all, the broadband, and because of where I am, even though it's like it's an estate of some kind, so there's loads of houses, it's not as if it's going to be in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
But at this moment in time, they can't offer me their new service, which is like 145 meg.
Mm-hmm.
So the most they can give me is from 16 to 27, I think they said roughly. And to be honest,
which is pretty poor.
It's not bad, because we used to back in the day all run on about 5 meg.
Yeah.
Was the most we had. But with my daughter's boyfriend, who'll be living with us as well, he's a PC gamer. So then you got the missus on the on her phone and other devices. Everyone's got devices that be connected to the internet. So I'll pop the question on the Facebook group just to ask people's ideas, what they got, what they do. So I don't know what I'm going to have yet, but I'm going to go for Virgin for the fibre.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do is the estate agent said that we can, if we speak to them, they get Virgin to ring us and we'll get a good deal and a bonus of £100.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to do that and see what they can deliver. We're still 2 weeks away. So hopefully if I can get this organised ASAP, that I can get an install date before Sky Fit on the Friday the 8th of November.
Yeah, and hopefully no interruption to you being able to do the show.
Well, no, because actually there'll be one show we can't do, because that will be the weekend of the 1st and 2nd. Second is a Saturday, isn't it?
I think so, yeah.
So the 3rd, had already been moved.
Right.
That weekend. So that weekend we won't be doing anything.
Okay.
So we'll talk about that as time progresses.
Maybe do a special sometime before if you've got the time.
If I can squeeze it in, we could do. So
is that what she said?
Yeah. So that's how that's really going at the moment. So that's pretty cool. It's just and I just started to dismantle this room, which was, as some people reckoned in the household, would take me weeks to do. But I've taken everything off the shelves. I've taken the shelves apart. I've got boxes here with all sorts of Blu-rays and stuff that we have in boxes.
Yeah.
And the only other thing was the vinyl. What to do with the vinyl? Now, last time I moved, I put them in cardboard boxes. But when you sort of overweight them a bit with more, if you've got a fairly big sized one, you put a load in there, that weighs an absolute ton. So I've gone down the route of buying some Gorilla cases for the vinyl, which they hold about 100 per box.
Are they expensive?
They're about £30 each.
Each?
Yeah.
And you've got 8 of them?
Yes. Oh, let me turn that off, so I do apologise. So it's 100 per box roughly. Yeah. But it's I don't think it is, because in my case, because 180 gram vinyl
is thicker.
And then maybe it is, I don't know, but so when I got my newer albums and soundtracks and stuff, maybe there's not 100 in there, but the old vinyl as it was back in the day, you'd get more in the boxes. But yeah, so they're all sitting behind me. And there's all the other, and what's been brilliant is the boxes they come in from Amazon, I've been using to pack the other stuff.
Yeah.
So it's method in my madness that I've got all those, but I've been having because I'm struggling for boxes at the minute for the house.
Yeah, and because it's not like the old days where you could go down to the supermarket and get some boxes.
No, you can't these days, and also they're just tiny little things that have a bit of fruit and veg in.
Yeah.
And that's no
with
good.
Big holes in the bottom
that's
of it.
And they're all soggy and wet.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been an interesting time at the moment. So it's.
Man, I think you can go to a place like Aldi, can't you?
Possibly.
I think that they still have the boxes.
So you can go into these sort of places where you can rent space for storage.
Yeah.
They sell boxes. They actually sell them, but I mean, I don't want to. That's the last resort.
And it's quite an expensive way of doing it.
Yeah, so it is what it is. Anyway, so apart from that, what have I been up to? So for the movies later on, I've got one movie. One title, 2 versions. We've got an original and we have got a remake, and I'll talk about that a bit later. And off the cuff this afternoon. I don't know if I mentioned this. I bought a new printer recently.
I think you mentioned it before.
Did I mention
the last
it?
show. Yeah,
I did. Anyway, so how cool is this? I phoned up Ticketmaster this afternoon. Booked tickets.
Yeah.
printed them out. I'm ready to go for tomorrow night. It's easy as that. Because it was the last. I really wanted to go to see Gary Newman, and he might not be someone you know.
Oh no, Gary Newman, yeah.
Okay, so he's doing his 40th anniversary tour at the moment. So he's got one night in Bournemouth. So the wife's her sister wants to come, so we're just going on our own. And I got my daughter's boyfriend to do the taxiing for us, so I can have a pint. So that should be cool. I look forward to that tomorrow night.
Mm.
So I spoke to them and sorted a few things out, because I've got other tickets to come from them, but I've actually I went on the website to send them an email so they are aware that my next tickets are going to come for November. And that's to see OMD. And they will then be shipped to the new address. So, but yeah. What else forgot? There's any violin in the mix at the minute? I can't think I have actually at the minute. There's a few bits and pieces inbound. I think I've got I've got Waxworks are en route at the moment with an expanded version of the last year's Halloween movie from John Carpenter.
Yeah,
that's in the post. I've got Mondo. I think I mentioned Ghostbusters last time I spoke to you, so that's on the route. And I've organised a nice poster as well, actually, for my room, and that's coming from Mondo, but it's an Omen poster.
All right, okay.
So it's not going to be the design that we saw for the in the 70s. It's a new recreation design from a famous artist.
Yeah. So
that's coming at some point in November as well. So that'd be nice to get that, maybe in a glass case as well. Dear Blu-ray wise, one of the movies I'm going to talk about is what I'm on about later, and the other one I got is I picked up a Blu-ray edition of a Video Nasty. And that's I Spit on Your Grave.
I've heard of that, yeah.
So they did a remake a few years ago. There's a couple of remakes. I think they did 3 of them now. But the original one was really put to bed with the government, with the Video Nasty era, and it was banned from everyone. And so I found a copy of that, which I won't talk about this week because I haven't got a chance to watch it yet. But yeah, that's about it really. Quickly, not much more than that, other than just a busy bee at the minute.
Yeah.
What about yourself? Because you were supposed to go to EGX, weren't you? How'd you get on with it?
I was supposed to go. I didn't go.
Oh, you didn't? Oh, I've just got to say quickly, but on EGX, because I was offered a ticket from Glyn, but I couldn't get the time off at the minute as well, so I didn't go, unfortunately.
Yeah, unfortunately, I couldn't go. Well, I could have gone, to be fair, but just stuff has been happening in my life, and I just thought I really can't be bothered to travel all the way down to London, because even on a train it just feels like a trek, and then to trek across London to get to the place. I really dislike EGX being in London, I have to admit, because it's really costly for me to get there. But no, because I've you know what's happened with me in the past.
Yes, exactly, yeah.
So it's just, sorting out all of the legal stuff with that has come to a head. So that's finalised now. And, you're looking to rent. And I am looking to rent now. Shame it's just not in the same area.
No, sorry, yeah, unfortunately not.
Yeah, just get a transfer up here, mate, and it'll be all sorted.
I don't think my work would approve.
Well, no, get your work transfer up here.
Yeah,
they have Mighty up here.
Oh, they are up there, yeah, but it's too far away from the family.
Well, you'd be shifting your family up, or wouldn't you?
No, I'm on about
or the rest of the family.
The rest of the family, yeah.
So, so now I'm sorting out, my other house, ready for renting. So that's just, quite emotionally charged, shall we say, because it's the house I grew up in. So, because of that, I just thought I cannot be bothered to go down to London. I just didn't have it in me emotionally to do it. Do you know what I mean? So, yes, I stayed up here, met one of my friends, we went out for a McDonald's breakfast. Generally just tried to chill out, sort of thing. Other than that, I've been playing Destiny, like it's going out of fashion.
On the PC, I might add, not with me.
Yeah, on a PC, because I've been playing a superior version of it.
Yeah, whatever, but yeah, carry on.
But it's interesting because we're both further than each other in different respects of this. So you've gone higher up on and concentrated on the light level, and I've concentrated more on the season progression. With
the character, you've got more characters you've been dealing with than I've been dealing with one, but we'll chat about that one.
Yeah. So it's interesting, isn't it? How you can focus your attentions in different ways on the same thing. So, but I'm sure that we'll chat about that. So, other than that, I don't really have much to add. It's been other than all of that sort of stuff. It's just, haven't really been up to much, really. So, quite quiet. So, shall we move on to Gaming This Week?
No longer a dream, but a reality.
Okay, so Gaming This Week, and I haven't got any news, really. Have you got any news, Steve?
I can't think of anything off the top of my head that's made its way out in the world at the moment.
No.
But I think it's going to be a slight slowdown with just a few basic titles coming out.
Yeah.
Maybe one more title that I'm really interested in that's in that list, but we'll see.
Okay. Well, do you want to go through the list of what the new releases are then, Steve?
Okay, so we'll start with the 22nd of the 10th, and we have Street Outlaws, the list on PlayStation 4, Xbox One and Switch. We have The Legend of Heroes, Trials of Cold Steel 3, PS4. Also on the 22nd we got that's World Rally Championship, is it?
Yeah, WWE 2K20.
Sorry, yeah, I was looking on below. Yeah, so WWE 2K20.
WRC, yeah.
Yeah, on all platforms again. So for the 24th we've got World Rally Championship 8 on the Switch. For the 25th of the month we've got Buildings Have Feelings 2, PlayStation 4, Switch and PC. We have Call of Duty Modern Warfare on everything but his man is his dog, I'm sure. Also 25th we've got Destiny Connect, TikTok Travelers, PlayStation 4 and Switch. We have Children of Morta, PlayStation 4, Switch and PC. Let's Sing 2020 on the PlayStation 4. Medieval, which I think is the remake on PlayStation 4. And last but not least, The Outer Worlds, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Switch and PC. Which I'm interested in, to be honest.
The Outer Worlds?
Yeah.
I have it pre-downloaded.
Now, I haven't looked on the Xbox. Can you already do that on Games for Gold?
Yes. Yeah, you can.
And that's going to be an offline game, isn't it?
I think so, yeah. I don't think it's
I'm just thinking,
Fallout 86 or 76.
No, I'm just thinking when I move...
Can you still play it?
Yeah, can I still play my Xbox?
Well, you ain't going to be playing Destiny, that's for sure.
I know. And well, we'll talk about that. There's a kind of bits to say about that. But yeah, but Outer Worlds, it'd be nice if for a little while, maybe play that.
Yeah.
So we've got nothing for Games for Gold and PlayStation Plus yet, have we?
No, we haven't, but we do have Epic's Game Launcher. So, free from now until October the 24th, we have Observer, which stars the late great Rutger Hauer, and Alan Wake's American Nightmare, which is a great little game. And then free from October the 24th to the 31st are Layers of Fear, Masterpiece Edition, and Cube 2. So if you've got a PC, get your Epic Game Launcher pointed at those, you'll get 4 free games in the next 2 weeks.
Go there, yeah. All right then.
Well, do you know what? If you haven't got a PC, it's worth just... Or rather, if you've got a PC that's not capable of playing games at the moment, it's worth just downloading the Epic Game Launcher and just bagging these. Because I think you should just bag them on it. I think you have to use the Epic Game Launcher. So if you can install it on whatever device you've got, it's just well worth doing it.
Yeah.
So, That's my advice, guys. If you're ever thinking that you might go PC orientated, so you might as well start getting your collection of games going right now.
Absolutely.
Anyway, Steve, tell us about Destiny that you've been playing. I'm not going to ask anything else because I don't think you have. Have you?
No, no, unfortunately not. No, the only other game that really interests me, I say, will be the Outer Worlds, which is obviously coming from the guys at Obsidian. So that should be pretty interesting. So at the moment, if we just have a few stats, so rank-wise, I'm only up to 46, which I think you're a bit high. You're higher than me on that, aren't you?
Yeah. On the season.
The rank is for the Season of the Undying, yeah?
Yeah.
So other than that, my character, because the way I've been playing, so I'm 951 at the minute. And I've been, if you listen to this before the end of Tuesday, Iron Banner is still out at the moment because it started last week. I did love the idea of the quest line for this time. So what they did is you got a quest with Lord Saladin. There's, I think you've got about 4 sections for the quest.
Yeah. Each
one you will have to do the obligatory killing people or whatever, and you have to do the amount of save, on the capture points and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then with each of those, you will have a weapon to use. And there was a slight little bug with the end of the last part of it. And it was, the icon didn't explain it. I think it was saying it looked like it was a grenade launcher.
Yeah.
But in fact, you need to use an SMG for kills.
Yeah.
And do that, and you'll be fine. It'll work really well. You'll be there. But I think what's clever is that each time you do a part of that quest, you get given a piece of armor.
Mm.
And then once you've got all there, you'll get the full set of armor. And then, like me, I had 300 or 400 tokens that I couldn't use until we finished the quest section.
Yeah.
And then you can start using them to get some of the other weapons, which obviously they're the weapons from last season, but there'll be ones with mods on it and everything else.
Mm.
So, and to be honest, I've been really enjoying it. I think it's a clever way of bringing Iron Banner in.
Yeah. And
my favourite weapon, ironically, has been the Outlast. And this is a pulse rifle. And with that, it was like I could do three hits on a character and they'd be dead. And they're pretty quick as well. It just worked really well for me. Also, I did the quest, I think it was last week or the week before, to get the Deathbringer rocket launcher.
Yeah.
That's a nice little addition. Because with that, you fire a projectile that will hit an area, and then it will just rain other missiles from it.
Mm.
So, and that is not a PvP type of quest at all.
No,
it's all to be done. You can do it solo. And I did have Mark with me. He came on Thursday night, and we just tied up the last piece. But it's a quest that you don't have to worry about having to go into any sort of fight with any other real people if you're not that way inclined.
Yeah.
And yeah, I've been doing all the Iron Banner bit. That was pretty cool. I've been doing a load of nightmares on the moon, doing some strikes to get all my upgrades that I need, and work from there onwards, really. And I'm really enjoying it.
Mm.
We do have, I can't remember the date, we do have a few bits and pieces leading up for October, so we're going to have another edition there with a little event kicking in.
Yeah.
That'd be nearer
the Halloween event.
Yeah, that'd be nearer the end of October, and that'll run into November, so hopefully by the time I get back online, I might be able to dip in that a bit, but we'll see. Mate, it's not the end of the world.
He says with a nervous tick.
No, but I'm not going to lose sleep over it because it is what it is, really.
I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll send you some pictures of me playing it.
Yeah.
just to make you feel at home.
But it'd be good to have a couple of weeks away from it.
Yeah.
You know, say the worst it could be a week or two. It just depends how Virgin pull your finger out when I have a chat with them tomorrow.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've just been really enjoying that. It's been good fun. I've been upgrading the weapons the best I can. Most of my weapons are about the ones I use mainly about 943, 941. So, and the armour as well. I've been swapping armour around a bit, but that's running at about 942, 945 as well. So, yeah, it's good stuff.
Yeah.
How about you? So, how are you progressing? Because I say you're doing 3 characters, aren't you?
I am doing all 3 characters, so I'm doing one of each type. So I've got my Warlock, Titan, and Hunter. So my Hunter is what I consider my main one.
Yeah.
So I am, get this, 97 hours in. That is since launch on Steam on the 1st of October.
So, have you? Because I know your sleeping habits are a bit.
Yeah.
So you've been probably put more hours than me in, to be honest.
Probably have, actually.
Because the most I do will, to be honest, during the week, it's going to be 2 hours, 2.5 hours at the most a day.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I've been obviously cracking out nearly 5 hours a day.
Yeah, so the one
how
you've
I fit that in, I don't know, other than it's been just middle of the night sort of stuff.
Well, yeah, if you're going to be doing that, yeah, that's fine. I mean, I did get roughly a good day's worth a week ago.
Yeah.
The only reason for that was I didn't mention I had an injection in my shoulder, and I had to rest my shoulder.
Yeah.
But I could use my hands, so I sat there playing Destiny all day.
The trauma of it.
Yeah, but the injection didn't work very well, so I'll have to go for a second shot at it.
It's probably because of all of the times that you were tensing your shoulder when you were playing Destiny. That's probably why.
I don't. I'm so relaxed when I play Destiny. You can't believe it.
Okay, I'll believe you. Millions wouldn't, but
I know.
Especially when I've heard you on the other end of the line swearing and all sorts because it's not going right. Anyway, so my Warlock is at 939.
Yeah.
My Titan, which is my worst character, is at 943.
Yeah.
And my Hunter is at 939.
Okay. So what weapons have you been using in the game then as for your main... Do you swap them around between the characters, I presume?
No, to be honest, I have the same... what do you call it, weapon on each character, you know, the arc or whatever. What do you call them?
So you've been using the...
Elemental, the same elemental sort of weapon. So I've been using the Risk Runner.
Yeah.
As my main one. Because it's just a freaking awesome gun. Because it shoots out arc energy if you get hit by arc. So if you get hit by arc, it immediately recharges your weapon, and it then also, when you fire and you hit someone else, it sparks off to other enemies near you, or near them rather, and also it doesn't run out of charge as long as you're getting hit or you're hitting someone. So it's only when you start missing that it starts to run out, when you're, you know, the coils or whatever it is they call it are charged. So it is an absolutely awesome weapon to be able to use, and it melts down, you know, yellow enemies really quickly, you know, the yellow barred ones.
I'm assuming that you haven't been any sort of PvP at all.
No,
this is all single player stuff on the moon. And
yeah, I went once into Gambit.
Yeah. Well, Gambit, I tell you what, Gambit isn't bad really, because it isn't the same.
No, it's not, because you can choose whether or not you want to go against other players apart from when somebody invades your side. Exactly,
and I love going in there because...
I go in and invade people. You know, yeah. I do that. You know, soon what I do is I wait for my super to come up and then I go through.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so on the season pass, I'm level 61. So you've been concentrating on PvP. I've been concentrating on the rest.
Yeah, I mean, the way I've been doing it is every time I go into the Crucible, I will take all the bounties.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, the main two, obviously, you only get the weekly ones, but the other ones are daily.
Yeah.
And then also I've been doing the Iron Banner bounties at the same time, but they've dried up now. They don't carry on.
Yeah.
So where I've been doing that, and then I've started to going back into the Vex Invasion. So I'll go to Ikora there and pick up her bounties.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I've got so many that I haven't really spent in my inventory. You know when you have the coins for the Vex?
Yeah.
I've got 100 sitting there I haven't used yet, and I've got another 50 or 60 in the Postmaster.
Yeah, I don't know where you spend those.
Well, you spend those with the Cora. Because what you do is you can... There's, I think, 4 or 5 there to also reacquire the weapons that you've got.
Yeah.
So if you want to go for one of the weapons, you rebuy that, you do the quest, which is just basically going to be kills and amount of kills or whatever.
Yeah.
And then that will give you a different role, obviously, and it might be a better role than the one you already have.
Yeah.
So if you let them just sit in the background, don't worry about them and just carry on playing the game, they'll just, start to fill up, and you'll end up getting another same weapon again, but it might be a better role that will be, in the long term, how you play the game.
And probably a higher light level as well. Or is she capped?
The power level, is not capped, is it? It can go. It's 960. I mean, it's getting confusing because we're thinking old school now. With my level is 951 at the moment. But if you take off the ornament that we have, it's probably 6 minus 6.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming when the season finishes, and then that ornament would disappear.
Yeah, you get reset back.
You'll be back to whatever you are.
Yeah. But the highest level that anybody is at the moment is 972.
Oh, is it? I've not looked into that.
Yeah. No, I saw it on online today. So Bungie said that the highest user is 972.
But we've still got...
I presume that'll be... I don't know how they've got to that.
We'll work this one out, right? The season ends in 50 days and 21 hours' time.
Yeah.
So there's plenty of time to rank up.
I'm going to hit the 100...
I'm sure we both will get to the end of that 50.
Yeah.
100.
Well, I've already got 39 to go.
Yeah.
Well, less than that because I'm halfway through 60.
So you got to 61, didn't you? Let me just have a quick look, and I'll ask you a couple of questions. So 61, you said, yeah?
Yeah.
Let me scroll down. So at 60, you got an exotic engram. What did you get for that? Anything interesting?
I can't remember. It's just a random drop.
It wasn't anything special then?
No. I think it was a repeat of something I already had.
Well,
it was a Telesto.
Which is I think if you go on tonight,
you can't use it at the moment.
No, there's a reason for that. Yeah, something's wrong with it, and it's been doing too much damage. Yeah. So I think they've taken it out of the mix for now.
Yeah, they have, because I tried to use that when I was doing a Vex Invasion.
And it was greyed out.
Yeah.
yeah, that's right. I saw that on Destiny, the Dads for Destiny Facebook page.
Yeah.
First time I noticed it. So
what other questions do you have about the season?
No, I was just saying, did you get anything that was interesting? Because I'm just looking at some of the bits that go on. Obviously, you get some more gear to go with the alloy robes and stuff like that.
Yeah,
but that's just going to give you a higher ranking one anyway. So
it is. But what you want to do is you want to use them tactically, because
do you use them to infuse to some of the other armor you've got?
Sometimes, yeah. It depends upon if I've built up the armor or not. Because obviously you've got the power levels, which give you the extra mods.
Yeah.
So, if you've got something that's like a 10 base power level, you don't want to particularly lose that.
No.
Not that I've had that many of those, but to be honest, the frequency at which it's changing at the moment, I've now given up on using the mods for the time being, unless I just unlock what mods are on a specific, that are for whatever power level is there. So if it's got 5, I won't upgrade it at the moment because I'm still climbing.
No, I mean, it's very difficult because you might want to start to get the idea of where you want to go with a character. Yeah. And then maybe use him.
Yeah.
But what I have noticed is the best place I've got to get extra mods was from the Crucible point of view, because I've got like 400 or 500 Crucible tokens at the minute.
Mm.
So every time I pop them, I get a weapon plus they drop a mod.
Yeah.
So that's another mod in the bank in the list you've got. Just building them up.
Mm.
But yeah, it's really interesting. I'm just loving the idea of how this all comes together.
Yeah, I think they've done a good job with this season. I quite like, it is a bit of a grind getting through the seasons. One thing I have found, despite the fact that I had 250,000 glimmer,
which is the cap.
Yeah, which is a cap. I am now running out the glimmer.
What were you? I mean, mine hovers around 100,000 most of the time.
Yeah. Mine isn't hovering around it, because what I'm doing is I'm buying the things so that you can infuse.
Yeah.
So that costs some glimmer as well as shards and stuff like that.
It's more. It's more what you need is the shards is never a problem.
No.
And the glimmer's never a problem at the minute, but it's just the other parts are. I mean, I've got none at all now at the moment.
See, I'm all right on everything else. It's mainly glimmer, because the other thing as well is I'm buying so many bounties, and they're all they can cost quite a lot of glimmer. So if you think what I'm doing is, because you can get the additional ones, just like click on it and you get another random one.
Yeah.
For example, Ikora does that. Zavala does it. So when you click on those, there are a couple of thousand glimmer, and then you get another one. But I might get, I'll go up to the full amount of them, and then I'll just go and do those.
Yeah, yeah.
So consequently, it's not I'm buying 3 or 4 bounties costing 6,000 or 8,000. I'm probably getting about 10 costing me about 30,000. And I'm doing that from multiple places. Yeah. So it soon eats into the amount of money you've got. I mean,
you could break down all your shaders if you're not interested in them for the minute. You can. They will give you glimmer and they will give you shards.
Been there, done that.
Yeah.
Yeah, been there, done that. Breaking down anything that I can just to get the glimmer.
You're being a scrap mesh merchant. Have you been to the Spider to see what he offers you there?
Yeah, as well, but again, stuff does cost glimmer in that there as well.
He's more expensive now. He's gone up market apparently. So
yeah, but also, first time I've actually done some of the opulence stuff with the chalice and that. So I'd never ventured into
of course,
the place.
Yeah, you've not, have you?
No, I'd ventured into the the place on Nessus where it's the display room or whatever it is.
I'm just realising now. Have you gone to the barge?
What, on Nessus?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's where Zur is at the moment.
Yeah.
And all those crates around where Zur is.
Yeah, I bought all of the crates as well.
That's why you've eaten up your glimmer now. I can see why.
Yeah. There's about 80,000 glimmer it cost.
Yeah, for all those chests.
And I'm not actually sure what it gave me.
But what it gives you is it gives you the components for the chalice.
Yeah.
So depending how you got, so obviously I've masterworked my chalice, and for each you have 3 components that you put in there to give you what armor or guns you want.
Yeah.
and you would then run that chalice in the menagerie. Unfortunately, now they haven't got what they used to do, because you used to be able the little spam and quick way of when you finish the one you've been doing.
Yeah.
You used to be able to run. What you did is you got your stuff out of the chest, and then you run over to the nearest point where you go into a different area.
Mm-hmm.
Then you run quickly back again, put 3 things on your chalice, and get another set out of the box.
Right.
But that doesn't do that anymore now. They've taken that away.
Yeah. Not surprising. That sounds a bit like the old one that was on the House of Wolves, where you used to run out of the area and then come back.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also, what they did do, I don't think they do it now. Have you been doing the Opulence at the moment? Have you been running that?
I've been doing a little bit of it. So
when you get to the chest at the end,
yeah.
What do they give you? Do they give you a couple of items?
Yeah.
What they did before the season new season opened, you would get about 3 or 4 different versions and rolls on the weapon you went for.
Right.
So you'd have about maybe 4 or 5 of those. So if I go to my vault, which as you know is probably still full, and I've got the Austringer, the best hand cannon to get in the menagerie is the Austringer.
Yeah.
And I've got about 6 different versions of it.
The thing is, though, unless you get a god roll on it, there's no point in doing that, because you can just go back to your collection and get it back.
I don't know if the menagerie stuff is you can or not. I've not looked at that.
Yeah, you can, because it unlocks on your thing.
Yeah, but some weapons and some armour will not allow you to do that. They're special. So the Iron Banner armour, for example, you can't delete it and go and get it again because it won't be there. It's not. You can't do that.
Right.
So you've got to double check first before you start deleting anything.
Okay.
Because there's some stuff you can, some stuff you can't.
Yeah.
But the menagerie is great to do. That's great fun. So that's worth diving in for.
Mm.
Okay. Anything else?
Not with Destiny. So my next one is Witcher 3.
When are you going to get the time for this? Now, this game needs a lifetime on its own.
It's on the Switch.
I know, but I don't know if we can get the time for this, but anyway, carry on.
Well, when I'm sat on a lib, obviously. When else do you play the Switch?
Yeah.
So I picked it up because I was curious about how it translated, to be fair. Mm-hmm. So it is a complete edition. It comes with all of the DLC, you know, the 2 big ones, Blood and Wine and whatever the other one was, and the main game.
Yeah.
Obviously all on the cartridge, which I haven't licked to see if it tastes disgusting. And you also get a map. It's not a cloth map, but it's a map of the area. You also get a letter from Project Red and some other stuff as well, which I didn't really pay much attention to. And all I can say is, from what I've played so far, because I haven't played hours and hours of it, is it seems to be the full-on Witcher experience on the Switch console, which is amazing, considering that they reckoned that they couldn't do the Witcher on the 360.
Yeah.
I mean, there is a graphical compromise to it. You can tell it's not to the same standard as the Xbox and PS4 versions, but it's still a beautiful game, and on the small screen, the graphical compromise is quite minimal. Still slightly noticeable, but not as noticeable.
Okay.
The one thing I would say is, though, is they haven't really thought about putting, the difference between a 49-inch TV and an 8-inch display, because the text is microscopic.
What, on your handheld?
On the handheld, to the point of I can't read it without my glasses on. Normally I can manage playing a Switch and see what the writing is, but this is just too small.
Yeah. So when you plug it into your base for the main TV,
yeah, it comes up about the same size as all of the other ones do. But obviously it's 720p rather than rather than full HD or anything. But it still looks okay. It's just not as good as the other console versions or the PC version of it.
Yeah.
So not so good for the big screen, but all right for the small screen, as long as you don't need to read anything. But still a beautiful game. Plays, I didn't really see any difference in the way that it plays. The story's the same. It's The Witcher. Well worth it.
It is what it is out the tin.
Yeah, exactly. So, if you're looking at this, definitely worth a look.
Yeah. Absolutely.
If you like The Witcher, and you can cope with the change in the graphical quality, go for it. If the graphics are your thing, though, just dig out your Xbox or PS4 version of it and play that instead.
Yeah, I can imagine, because there is an enhanced version there, isn't there?
There is, but it does look for the Switch. It looks stunning. I have to admit, the art style, everything, it's all there. Everything that I remember being in the original game is still there.
Oh, cool.
So, yeah. So, anything else you want to talk about games?
Not really. I'm going to look forward to Outer Worlds, hopefully.
Yeah.
Which is going to be...
very shortly.
Yeah.
Excuse me. And also, coming very shortly, is the new Star Wars one as well, which is getting quite good pre-reviews, so I can understand. So let's hope that EA have actually cracked it and done a decent single-player game.
I doubt it.
Well, we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. We can't judge it
I'm
yet.
sure it'll be better than The Last Jedi. Having said
actually,
that, though, an episode of Coronation Street is a better Star Wars movie than The Last Jedi.
And I think it's going to be... Is it this week we're going to get the final trailer for the latest movie, so...
Yes. Yeah.
Keep your eyes and ears peeled for that one.
Oh, I will be. All right, so let's move on to movies, TV, and streaming.
In quest of a better life,
All right, so movies, TV, and streaming, and we have... Well, do you have any news, Steve, first off?
Not off the top of my head, not today, no.
No, I don't have any either. Let's just skip that for the time being. Cinema releases. So, on the 23rd of October, we have Terminator Dark Fate. On the 25th, we have The Addams Family, Countdown, The Beach Bum, Black and Blue, Monos, The Last Man in San Francisco, and By the Grace of God. So, a couple of ones stand out there, I think.
Addams Family, isn't that a animated version?
I believe it is.
So I probably won't be, won't be getting to the cinema for that.
No, definitely not.
But I'm hoping to go and see Terminator Dark Fate.
Yeah, I'm hoping to see that as well. Classic Terminator, what can you say?
Yeah, I really love to see it. I think I'd love to see it at the cinema. It's just the sort of film you've got to see at the movies if you can get there.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm not even sure when that date is, actually.
When what is
25th? The 25th is this coming Friday.
It is, so that's Wednesday it's coming out.
So I might have to see about going to see that then.
Yeah.
So, yeah, interesting.
You don't have any cinemas that might do work for that you need to visit?
No, unfortunately not. No,
that's a shame.
Not a chance. But yeah, I'm gonna have to look into seeing this, and yeah, it'd be pretty cool. They're great movies, great fun movies to watch.
Yeah, and to be honest, even Genesis wasn't that bad.
Actually, I didn't mind Genesis. I don't think I couldn't. See, I like obviously Terminator and Terminator 2.
Yeah.
Then after that, it went a bit flat. But I didn't mind Genesis for what it was.
No, exactly. It was
a slight twist on the story of alternate realities, or whatever you want to call it. I don't know.
Well, mucking about in time too much, I think, is a general consensus, isn't it?
It isn't it? Yeah. So,
but yeah, I mean, the Salvation as well. That had that the timeline's been polluted, sort of thing. Anyway, but there's loads. There's loads of movies. I think that they all work reasonably well together. Just it's a shame that Christian Bale wasn't on the on Genesis to just keep the continuity going.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, but anyway. So DVD and Blu-ray releases. Do you want to do those, Steve?
Okay, so we've got A Town Called Eureka, season 1 to 5 on DVD. They have it on, I think, are they on Blu-ray maybe? I don't know, they should be, but...
evidently just DVD.
Definitely D. We have Charlie's Angels, 4K Blu-ray, and we have also a double pack with Full Throttle as well. And just on that at the minute, there is a new movie coming out, Charlie's Angels. Have you seen that?
Yeah.
Not fussed about it, to be honest.
I can't say I am. To be honest, when you look back at these movies now, they're very camp, very cheesy.
Yeah, but I'm going to keep my tongue tied at the moment because I'm not getting into trouble. But yeah, so that's them. We've got Comic Strip. For us guys in the UK, we'll know who they are.
Yeah. So there's 3 lots. Bad News, Eat the Rich, and 5 Go Mad.
Go Mad. My favourite is 5 Go Mad.
I think it's everybody's favourite, isn't it?
Yeah. Dawn French, Jennifer Saunders, Rick Mail, Aid Edmondson. Just brilliant.
The late, great Rick Mail.
Yeah. Such a shame to see he's not around still.
It is. I don't know whether you've ever watched the TV series Man Down.
No, I've actually seen him live though. He was hilarious.
Yeah, well, he was on there. But bearing in mind, he's only about 8 or 9 years older than me. Or when he died, he was something like that. Because he's in late 50s, wasn't he? But he was on that. He was married to Terry and June's June. On it. Sort of like,
so I've got that song in my head now for Terry and June.
Yeah, there's a bit of an age difference between them, really, I think.
Anyway, so also we got Doctor Who the specials. Now I'm assuming are those the David Tennant specials? Maybe I'm not too sure.
I don't know whose specials they are, unless they're just a collection of all of them.
Yeah, because I know David Tennant did the specials, which weren't episodes, which finished his time as a Time Lord.
Yeah.
Also, we have Elementary Season 7 and also Season 1 to 7, which is the American version of Sherlock Holmes. We have Frozen 4K Blu-ray, if that floats your boat.
Yeah.
Men in Black International, which you've seen.
Yeah.
Blu-ray, 4K and DVD. NCIS Season 15, they keep going. And we have Never the Twain, the complete series, which is an old British sitcom from the 70s.
And you can watch that on Forces TV at the moment.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it is. That and Space 1999.
There you go, some classics there. Red Heat, Blu-ray, 4K Blu-ray and DVD, which is Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
And my favourite so far will be this one, Scarface, the 30th anniversary edition, Blu-ray, 4K. Oh goodness.
35th anniversary. Not 30th.
35th, sorry. Did I say 30th? Oh, sorry, I do believe. Okay, and we've got Wonder Woman Bloodlines. I don't even know, is that going to be a cartoon?
I would have thought it would have been.
But just to tidy us up, and these will be interesting, we have Toy Story 1, 2, 3 and 4 on 4K Blu-ray. And we have a box set Blu-ray DVD of 1 to 4 as well.
They made a mistake. They should have called the obvious version Toy Story 4K.
Yeah. Now, I don't know. I got my doubts about whether 4K on an animation is going to be any different to a Blu-ray.
Yes, it is. And the reason why I can say that is because I thought exactly the same. So I got Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse as just a standard Blu-ray. Right. And then on one of the other movies, I think it might have been the Avengers movie or whatever, it had a trailer for Into the Spider-Verse. Mm-hmm. Oh no, it was at the end of one of the movies. That's what it was. Instead of like a normal live action, I think it did the Into the Spider-Verse stuff. And there was a noticeable increase in quality. Seriously.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I haven't seen number 4 yet.
Neither have I.
but I know it makes a grown man cry.
I have to admit, I'd probably get Toy Story 4 in just standard Blu-ray rather than 4K.
What about the others? The 1, 2, and 3.
Got them in Blu-ray already.
Have you? Oh, I have. I don't think I have to. I don't think they're in my DVD collection anymore.
Yeah, no, I've got a 12-year-old, so of course I've got them.
Yeah, I used to have all. Well, it's funny because we just on this quickly. We were chatting about. We were going to watch a movie last night, and we were going to watch Equalizer 2.
Yeah.
But some of us were on wine, and some of us fell asleep. That wasn't me. I'm talking about someone else, but no mentions on names here on that. And I was talking about. We were talking about the Pixar movies, and I said, "Well, it's funny because there's only one of those movies never had a sequel, and it's my favourite." And do you know which one that is?
No.
And it's not. Out of all the Pixar movies, this one hasn't had a sequel.
Oh, Ants.
No, it's Bug's Life.
Bug's Life, yeah, sorry, yeah.
And that's a superb movie. Again, it's a remix on the Magnificent Seven story, but we won't go down the route now. But yeah, it was on the TV at the time, so we just sat and watched that for a bit. Before they all went to bed and I'll play Destiny again. But yeah, kicks them all. When they're all asleep, I'll just switch the Xbox on and we'll carry on.
Yeah.
Anyway, do you want to also, you're doing the cinema releases?
Okay,
then, yeah?
so cinema charts.
Yeah.
So cinema charts this week are number 5 we have Downtown Abbey. At number 4 we have Judy. At number 3 we have Gemini Man. At number 2 we have Abominable. And at number 1 we have Joker. And I'm going to see that on Friday.
Okay. It's got a lot of good reports on it.
Yes, very good reports from what I've heard.
So, okay, so Blu-ray DVD charts.
Yep, so we got...
So,
do you good or me?
well, you just done that, so I'm down this, obviously, aren't I?
Okay.
Right, just get it right.
He's been precious about it, folks.
I am. So down from 3 to 5, we've got Avengers Endgame. In at 4, we have got The Secret Life of Pets 2. Down from 1 to 3 is Rocket Man. We have the Doctor Who Collection Season 23 in at 2. And X-Men Dark Phoenix is in at number 1.
Yes.
Not fussed about that.
I watched it last night.
And? You talk about it in a minute.
I thought it was alright, to be honest.
Yeah.
I know that people didn't generally like it. And I do kind of think it is a bit of a reimagining of X-Men 3, which was the least liked of the original X-Men movies.
Right.
But it's okay. It's just not going to it's not a spectacular, shall we say. It's a bog standard X-Men story without Wolverine.
Yeah.
And that's all I can really say with it. You know, it's I don't think it deserves the bad press it has had. So, Steve, what have you been watching?
So, quickly moving to a remake. We'll go backwards and forwards here, but Sky were doing a little deal at the minute where you can buy a Blu-ray for $3.99 or buy a download.
Yeah.
On the Skybox, and I thought, well, there's a couple of movies here that I wouldn't mind wanting to see. And before I talk about the original, Fright Fest was on a month or 2 ago now, and if you don't remember, Fright Fest is a horror festival of movies.
Yeah.
It's on for about 3 days, and they'll have directors chatting about the movies and all sorts with guests, as well as showing these in about 3 or 4 different cinemas in London within the vicinity of where you're staying.
Yeah.
And the highlight for a lot of people was going to be the remake of David Cronenberg's classic from 1977, which is Rabid. And I thought, do you know what? For $3.99, it's worth a shot. So I picked it up on Sky Movies, but I'll just go back to 1977. So the original film that David Cronenberg did, Rabid, was from 1977. It's a horror / sort of sci-fi type movie. And what we got here, we have the actress Marilyn Chambers, who's so gorgeous, I say, plays a character called Rose, and she has an accident on a motorcycle. And they take her to this hospital where they take some skin off and they do some put her back together basically. But from after this, she has a taste for human blood, and she has a parasite on her, which is the way that she sucks blood most of the way. And from this, what it's doing is everyone that she takes it from infects them, and they turn into like these bloodlust zombies. And it's a great movie. It's actually classed as a 15 certificate these days.
Mm-hmm.
But it wasn't. It was an 18 at the time.
Right. Okay.
And being David Cronenberg with his sort of body horror type movies that he did over the years, it is well worth a watch if you've not seen it.
Mm-hmm.
But if we spin forward now to the remake, this came out at Fright Fest, and it didn't get a general cinema release, but it went straight to Blu-ray as well. Hence, I was able to pick it up for $3.99 on Sky Movies.
Yeah.
So again, we have a character called Rose. This time played by Laura Vandervoort, and basically we have the same story. But what's quite interesting here that the spin on it is that Rose works in a fashion clothing industry, and she has an accident and her face is ripped to shreds. She gets experimental stem treatment to put it back together, and the doctor says you've got to drink this medication, which comes in like these sort of flasks you can get for gym stuff. You know, those long, tall silver flasks which are quite solid for hot and cold drinks. So they've given her a load of stuff, and she said you have to drink this to keep yourself at bay. You'll have some sort of nightmares, blah blah blah, and so on and so forth. And all I'll say is it leads on the same story. She has a lust for blood, but she thinks she's in a dream with it and doesn't realise it's happening for true. And what the director of this is Jen Soska and Sylvia Soska, and they've made it more bloodthirsty. It's much more gory, and it's brilliant. I really I don't often like the remakes to a classic film I do love. It only got a 5.2 on the Internet Movie Database, but to be honest, I really loved it. And even the guys from another podcast I listened to, guys I bumped into a little while ago, their podcast, which is Draw and Last Breath, they loved it as well. It's well worth a watch. If you've got Sky and you've got $3.99 spare, maybe to check it out.
Yeah,
it's well worth a watch if you like your horror movies. Thoroughly enjoyed it, and it's one that I've got to keep now because it's actually, when you pay for it on Sky, it's in your purchase box, isn't it? So, but yeah, really good. I just love David Cronenberg's movies. This was a great homage to it as well. And there's a few other movies I wouldn't mind seeing, is just given a slight tweak to as well. But again, David Cronenberg, if you're not familiar with him, he did such movies as Scanners and The Brood on his earlier career. So great Canadian director there, really good.
Yeah.
Have you seen much of these at all? Probably not, I should imagine.
No, not my sort of thing.
But yeah, really good. I loved them. Really, really good. Yeah. What about yourself? What have you been up to? Anything interesting?
Yeah, I've watched a few things. I rewatched Her, which stars Joaquin Phoenix and Scarlett Johansson. So it's a story that explores the concept of relationships and love. As a guy called Theodore, played by Joaquin Phoenix, falls in love with Samantha, who is Scarlett Johansson. The difference being that Scarlett Johansson's Samantha is an AI, which is part of his personal operating system. And obviously everybody else across the world are getting these operating systems as well. And it's about the relationship, how his relationship with the AI sort of blossoms, and he falls in love with Samantha and her with him, and how that develops. So it's quite an interesting movie. It's one of the best movies of 2013, actually.
Yeah.
You know, it's amazing it's actually 6 years old, is this film now. Yeah, and of course, you can just listen to Scarlett Johansson's voice all day long.
Yeah. I know what you mean by that.
Yeah. And if you're going to fall in love with an operating system that's got, a voice, it's going to have Scarlett Johansson's voice. So, good on him. So, it's a great movie. I love the film. It's very thought-provoking. It does really take a view on what a relationship is. You know, is it the fact that is a relationship about if you get on with somebody, do you have to be able to physically touch them? You know, do you have to have that intimate contact, or is there other ways that you can achieve that sort of intimacy?
When it's Johansson involved, yes, I'm sure you can.
I am sure you'd want to in every possible conceivable way, but, there we go.
Yeah.
So that's that one. So it's well worth a look. You can pick it up for about $6.99 on Amazon, stuff like that, on Blu-ray. It's not expensive nowadays, and I think in America it's on Netflix. I'm not sure we're on this country though. The next one is I've been watching a couple of series. So the first one is a Ricky Gervais comedy called Derek.
Have you seen this before?
I've seen it before, yeah, but I'm rewatching it.
Oh, okay.
Because my wife never has ever liked Ricky Gervais. And then she saw his latest show after I'd said, look, I do think you should put your prejudice about him to one side and look at this, show called Afterlife that he's done.
Yeah, which was really
fantastic TV series. And I said, actually, I said to her, you might like Derek. And I thought, she'll either love it or hate it. Well, she loves it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so for those of you who've not seen it, Derek is somebody who has autism who works in a old people's home. And it's got all of the normal, Ricky Gervais sort of, friends turning up in terms of it. Because Carl Pilkington's in the first series, for example.
He plays the janitor, doesn't he?
He does, yeah. He does. And
he's a bus driver and everything for the place.
Yeah, and he just moans all of the time. But, there's lots of other people who you've seen in other British things and that. And the woman who plays, I forgot what her name is, who plays his wife in the Afterlife is Hannah, who is the care home manager.
That's right, yeah, it is, yeah.
So, but it's a very sympathetic black comedy about the life of Derek. It's not taking a mick out of anybody with disabilities at all. In a matter of fact,
no, it's not, because that's not what it's about. It's not about his disabilities.
No, it's about the life of a care home, really, and the characters that are in it. And Derek is the main focus character. And I think Ricky Gervais is such an underrated actor because he does pull off somebody with autism. I think. I think he's got lots of those sort of mannerisms and stuff like that.
But it just shows how good an actor he is to pull it off anyway, as that character is portrayed, the way it works.
Yeah, that's what I mean. And it is an incredibly good, sympathetic look at people with a disability.
Yeah.
With this particular disability. And, I just think he does a very good job in acting it, just like he did in Afterlife. And if you've watched Afterlife and you've thought, I really enjoyed that, but I don't like Ricky Gervais, actually have a try of Derek, because it is an intelligent comedy. But the thing is, it's like in some respects, it's a bit like The Office because it's got the talking head sort of situation, rather than being a situation sort of comedy, which The Afterlife was, because it's about a film crew that goes into an old people's home, or a care home, But
yeah. Do you think if you're going to get your wife now, she's got the bug as such? Maybe.
I'll never get her to watch The Office. She hates it.
No. What about extras?
I'm working on her because
obviously there are each week you've got to like either a movie star or a well-known British actor, actress in that it might she might think about it.
I've seen it all before, so of course I've seen everything.
Yeah, but I think
you missed that, didn't you?
Yeah,
that was Patrick Stewart's line, and of course I've seen everything.
Now, how about we have him naked? Yeah,
and of course I've seen everything.
The one I really enjoyed was the one with the nuns.
Yeah,
and you had
Kate Winslet.
Kate Winslet given all of this.
Yeah, if this doesn't get me a bloody Oscar, I don't know what will.
But then you had, and again, they weren't taking the mickey out of autism in this. But you had one of them that's playing a nun as an extra in a war movie.
Yeah.
And she brought her sister in.
She's actually that woman. Actually, she's a comedian.
She is, and
real life.
She's really like that as well.
Yeah, she is. Yeah, she does have a disability. Is it motor neuron disease or something like that? Or
something like that. That's it. But it was very well played. It was not over the top, but it was very well played. How obviously his character does not. He's a little bit. He doesn't understand it as the case, but saying that she was drunk and that, and it was just it was hilarious. Yeah. Really played it well.
But the good thing about extras as well is it does. To be honest, I think that extras gains its identity as it goes along. It doesn't know what it wants to be at the beginning, and it shows Andy as this. I want to be famous, and then
he gets his cake.
But he gets his fame, and then he realises it's not all golden.
Cracked up.
Yeah,
no, exactly. And then when you had the special, the special, which I've got that on Blu-ray actually kicking around somewhere.
Yeah.
So we don't really want to spoil it. I'm sure most people have seen it, but for those that may have not, the last episode was a Christmas special,
and it was fantastic.
Where he's in the Big Brother house, and it was hilarious, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was so funny, because, we won't spoil it. You've got to watch extras. As a matter of fact, you've got to watch Derek as well. I've got all of extras on DVD and Blu-ray, so I've got that box set. Yeah, but
well worth watching.
No, I do like the way that he has portrayed Derek. Because I don't think he's been insulting to anybody with that disability.
No, not at all.
And I think he's obviously studied people who have that, and tried to put it in a good light, because Derek is a very much loved character by the other people. He's always positive. He's always happy.
Makes other people happy by his atmosphere and environment that he's in, that he gives to people.
Yeah, he's a very giving sort of character, and he just plays him so well. And it's like the episode with the dog. Do you remember that one?
I remember the one. Not off the top. I remember the one about the bird, and he has a fascination with is it hamsters on YouTube?
Yeah, he does. Or Monkey Pig, where there's a pig giving a piggyback to a monkey.
Yeah.
But he's got a fascination with YouTube generally. But there's one episode where there is, these, health dogs that come into care homes.
Oh, excuse me. Yeah, no, I do remember now, because they brought the dogs in for the elderly to pet and have a look. So it gives them a sense of being and life, doesn't it?
Yeah, and things happen in one of the episodes. Not in the care home, outside the care home. And Ricky Gervais is acting and reacting to what happens is just so incredibly lifelike. But what I like about the talking head sort of situation is that it's just so human in the way that they portray it. Carl Pilkington, when he's talking, you really believe he is the caretaker who is just so peed off with life. Do you know what I mean? It's just...
Yeah, have you seen... I'm going to go off a tangent here, because I didn't know... I've watched a couple of episodes. I think I watched 2. There's a new show that he's in.
Right.
Where he loses... I think he loses his wife at the funeral. I'm trying to remember what it was now. And what it is it's like having someone on your shoulder to help you decide in life.
All right, yeah.
And there's another version of him standing in the background, talking to him.
Right.
Have you seen this?
No, I haven't.
I'll have to, while you're chatting in a minute, I'll have a little
Is
look
it
on...
sick of it?
Might be. Because the first episode is about getting rid of a settee in his house after he's lost his girlfriend.
Crockety Cabby Carl is living with his aunt trying to get over a breakup.
That's it.
And simply muddling his way through life, his closest mate being his inner self, who's not shy to speak his mind and often lands Carl in a whole load of trouble.
He stands alongside him there. So you're seeing him, and then you're seeing another version of it, which him playing it again. Yeah, very interesting.
I've not seen that, but I'm going to try and check it out, see if it's available on any of the streaming.
Yeah, I was watching it on Sky, I think.
Well, it'll probably be on Sky then, won't it? I'll have a
No,
look.
it was. I think I downloaded them on box sets.
All right, okay.
So yeah, have a look at that.
I'll keep an eye out for that, because I quite like Carl Pilkington. I thought that one that he did with Warwick Davies, where he went, well, that was so funny. That really was. But Warwick Davies is a legend.
Oh, bless him.
He is.
Bless his little cotton socks.
So definitely have a check out of Derek. It's a great show. The last one I want to talk about is another show which I've binged watched. There's 3 seasons of it. It's a BBC show and it's called Uncle. Have you heard of this one?
I'm not sure I have, actually.
Right, well, it's on Netflix. I suggest that you have a look of it.
Let me have a little. I'll have a little browse while you're chatting.
So it's a story about a guy called Andy who is an out-of-work musician who is really down on his luck. He's split up with his girlfriend. His life's not looking too good, and in the first episode, he's looking to commit suicide. Mm-hmm. And just at the point he's about to commit suicide, he gets a call from his sister asking him to care for her son, Errol, which he reluctantly agrees to do. So the story basically is about Andy, who's never had really much to do with his nephew, and Errol's relationship and how they grew up together, because he's a 30s-ish man-child. So it's starring Nick Helm and Andy, Elliot Speller Gillett, who is Andy, but it's also got Daisy Haggard, who is from Man vs. Woman. She was also on what do you call it? Not Extras. It's doing my head in now. It's the one in America with Matt LeBlanc. Do you know the one? It's not. I can't remember. That is really annoying me now, because I can't remember what that program was. Let me have a quick look. Episodes. That was it. Yeah, so she was on that. She was the one who kept going, the American executive. But it's also got Nicholas Burns, who's been on like Benny Dom, and Esther Smith as well, who's been on a few different things as well, especially for the BBC. So yes, there's some British names here. Well, it's all British anyway, but some quite well seasoned comedians on this as a show, and it's definitely worth a watch. Normally in each episode there is sort of like a bit of Andy's imagination where he sings about what's happening, which is a bit cheesy, but it's such a good laugh, and it's really enjoyable show as well. And again, it's that very sort of humanistic kind of point of view.
Yeah.
With characters saying what you would love to say in real life. So definitely worth a watch. I would, advise you have a look at that.
Okay.
Yep, that's it. So, we'll move on to listener questions.
John, what's happening to us?
All right, so listener questions, and as always, we've got Mark starting us off with, where and who do you look to before coming to buy... Sorry, bleh, I'll start again. Where and who do you look to before committing £50 to buy a game? Are there reviewers or streamers that you tend to have similar opinions to?
Excuse me. Oh, yeah, right. I sort of used IGN quite a bit.
Yeah.
But what I try not to do is spoil the game for myself now, where I used to go on YouTube and you'd see someone who's just got it early and they'd be streaming some of it and you can give you a bit of an idea. But I do look at what input I hear out on Twitter and other places like that, people that have, decided to go for it and for whys and whats. Because these days, I don't think, where before, I think, what were we paying? About 30 quid for a game?
Yeah, 30, 35 quid.
But I think 50 quid a pop now is, you can't just dip in on something on a whim now and buy that.
No, it's definitely more considered buying, especially if it's day one release. But normally, if you wait about a month, it comes down to mid-30s. But
right now, with what Xbox do, I think I haven't had the problem yet.
No.
What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, for me, I tend to have a look around all over the place to see what people are thinking of it, rather than a specific place. What I'll do is, I think if anything, I'll probably just look at YouTube clips of the game being played. Not particularly listening to any particular streamer or anything like that. I have got into recently, though, Gamer Ranks.
Right.
Which is a YouTube channel. And they do a before you buy.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, it's ranks with an X at the end, so it's all one word, Gamer Ranks. But they do lots of other videos because they also do, like, top 10 sci-fi games or, top 10 habits of Xbox players or top 10 habits of PlayStation players, whatever. So they do lots of different sort of style content, but they also do news content as well. So, you'll get Jake Valdino, who'll, be talking about what the latest news is. So, Gamer Ranks is one that it's about the only one I do listen to now, to be honest, that I actually consciously look for. But otherwise, maybe look at Metacritic if it's one that's been released and I'm just wondering what it's like as well. So there's a few places that you can go to. But if it's day one release that I'm considering, like, for example, the new Star Wars game, I'm just looking at the videos that I see of it beforehand to see, is it what I want to play? But it's not the best way of knowing, because you can be a bit hit and miss with that. I think events like EGX or Insomnia, they also help you, identify what is a good game and what's not by the fact that you can actually see and play them.
True. Yeah. It's I do listen to IGN quite a bit on some of their podcasts. I do listen to the Xbox podcast as well, and also sometimes the PlayStation 4 one.
Yeah.
So if it's a AAA game, I'll have a little browse about and see what's being floated around, what's being said. But it's not easy out there looking at that lot.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah.
Do you do this next question?
Okay, so throughout your gaming history so far, which one game have you excuse me. So which one game have you played the most hours into? Or in this case, put the most hours into it. You first. Do you know what game you put the most hours into?
Of this generation, yes. Destiny 1 and 2.
Yeah.
And I know that's going to be what your one is. Unless you're suddenly playing FIFA on the side quietly.
Yeah. So,
Offline.
while I look this up, okay, so Destiny 2 hours at the moment is 1,275 looking on Xbox in a minute.
That's not considering your PlayStation gaming as well.
No, and then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go to Destiny. If I go to Destiny 1, and let me do that there. So, can I see Destiny 1 as a separate entity? Because it's slightly different, isn't it, with that?
Yeah.
If I do Destiny Rise of Iron as an example, let me see if... so if I go in here, and can I see... Because it's really weird how this works on the Xbox. Oh, we got Destiny 2014. So I'm going to my Game Hub for that on Xbox.
Yeah. I know how many hours you've done on it. Or should I say days? How many days do you think you have?
I weren't too sure. You worked it out, didn't you?
It's worked it out for me because I'm looking at you through the Xbox console companion.
Oh, okay. So what is it?
Well, how many days do you reckon you've played it? This is Destiny 1.
Yeah, Destiny 1?
Yeah.
I'm just looking at the time played now. Hours?
Yeah.
2,295.
Otherwise known as 95 days, 15 hours and 17 minutes.
Oh, dear.
So, what's that, about...
Divide it into 24.
Yeah.
That'll give you the day, won't it?
Be 95 days, mate. I'm telling you, it's telling me on the Xbox console companion you've done it for 95 days, 15 hours and 17 minutes.
So what's a year?
365 days. So you've done it for nearly a third of a year. Whereas I've done 56 days, 10 hours.
Yeah. And say Destiny 2 is 1,295, something like that.
Destiny 2, let's have a look, see how many hours that you've done. See, for me, that's interesting. I've taken off the achievements off Destiny 2.
I can still see mine here.
I'm not looking at it that way, though. I went through it a different way. Let me have a look at...
Achievements, I've got 1,285 out of 1,500. That's with Destiny 1.
Yeah.
If I go back to search and then put in Destiny Shadowkeep, that'll do. Then scroll across. No, it's not that one. This will be... So I put in Destiny. I type in Destiny 2. I don't know where you're looking, but you probably do it quicker than I am, maybe. So I'll go Destiny 2. And I type in, do the 2019 Game Hub. Here we go. So I go across to achievement. Achievement something is good. So yeah, 920 out of 1,240. My character's 5 years old. Progress 82%. And hours, yeah, 1,275.
Can't believe I can't find Destiny in my list. It's been that long since I've played it.
Well, I'm using the app, and I'm just going to try and see if I can find you. And they got like the top 25 people in the list, time played.
Yeah. Ah, there we go. Destiny 2. So, I've played... How many... so you've played for 53 days, 3 hours and 4 minutes.
That's 24 hours a day when we talk that, isn't it?
Yes, it is. And I've played for 12 days, 15 hours and 10 minutes.
Yeah. But you can add your other bits on, but it's difficult when you got the PC.
Well, the PC, just on this month to add another 100 hours on.
On hours, yeah, that's it.
And then before that, whatever I had on there as well.
Because you're not even in the top 20 anymore.
I'm 10th in my top 10 of people I know.
No, but on the Xbox, on my Xbox list, number 1 has played it for 3,153 hours.
Is that Duke?
No, it's Chunky Monkey 1, 2, 3, 4.
I see. He's done 131 days. I've got Duke on mine, and he's done 142 days.
Don't think he's in mine. Obviously, Mark Prudy's on 1,840 hours.
76 days, 16 hours and 40 minutes.
Yeah, and anyone else in that we will know?
Chops. I haven't seen spoke to Chops for ages.
And Ian Snook is on 373 hours. And that's Gav's dad, I think. Might be wrong. Full Metal Nappy's on 540 hours. There's just some names there, isn't there?
L Dude. 42 days.
It's not just me that's got to go mental with this game, as you can see.
No. Ninja Tez. Terry, you're on 8 days, 20 hours on it.
It's a start.
It is. And our friend Nicky Wilson, Nicky, you're only on 4 days, 16 hours and 11 minutes. You need to get your skates up on that one, mate.
I think he does, yeah.
Heck, I've done that this month. Nearly. I will have by the end of the month. Anyway, shall we move on?
Okay, do you remember Facebook then?
Okay, so Ants Lewis, if you could enter any gaming movie world for a day, what would it be?
Oh, doesn't mean you're going to die in there, does it?
No, it doesn't say that.
No. I'd still say BioShock. I love that. I love that area. Go do. I could say the bleeding obvious ones, but I'm not. I'm going to go BioShock.
What, like Star Trek?
No. I was going to probably go for something like Fallout.
Yeah. Well, if that's where you'd want to go. If you really want to go to a post-apocalyptic world.
I do like the I do like the Art Deco in BioShock. That's just great.
Yeah.
It's creepy as hell, but yeah.
I'm going to go for Mass Effect.
Yeah, I can see it there.
Yeah.
Okay. So, all right. So, Alan Cochrane. I'll take my goggles off for this because they're not clean enough at the minute. I'll just about read this. What's your least favourite genre of gaming?
Anything to do with cards.
I think, well, back in the day it wouldn't have been, but I think these days I don't think I ever play a side-scrolling platform game.
Well, you never tried Planet Alpha, did you?
No, I mean, the last one I played would have been the Microsoft I think it's a AAA title, but that's the last one. But when you go back to the old school stuff, you know, on your Sega Master System and stuff like that, you used to play a lot of those sort of games.
Yeah, but they were ridiculously hard compared to nowadays.
Yeah, they were, but we still beat them, didn't we? Without the internet.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So, yeah.
I personally, anything that's got the card mechanic where you have to lay down a card for an attack and that sort of stuff. Completely, it makes my brain hurt and I can't be bothered.
Yeah, that's right.
I just get so bored with them so quickly.
It's what it is.
I don't mind. I'd rather play Solitaire than something like that, to be honest.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Lee Doherty says, so is it PS5 or Xbox Scarlet? Which is a day one purchase, or is it both? Also, what do you think the big launch titles will be for each of the next-gen consoles?
Okay. Now, we didn't get a chance to bring up the information on this for this week because we've been busy now, but maybe next week is to look into the PlayStation 5 got its specs. Well, I say an update on its specs with a bit more information, didn't it?
Yeah.
This week. And did Microsoft do something similar this week or not? I'm not too sure.
I don't remember seeing anything from Microsoft.
I saw a post on the Facebook group, but I wasn't sure if that was just a new post, an old post, or something in comparison. But it's very difficult because we're looking at £500 consoles there.
Mm.
And I will probably go for the Xbox first.
Yeah.
And then wait on the on the PlayStation Pro for now.
Yeah.
I couldn't fund both. You know, obviously, I'll do the same thing as normal. I'll trade in my old machine to help pay for it.
Mm.
I get £100 back or something for it, went out, something like that. But interesting, yeah. I mean, the PS5 is now actually going to be called the PlayStation 5, isn't it?
It is, yeah. They've officially announced that, haven't they?
Yeah, but we haven't got the Xbox title yet. Now, maybe we have got EXO in November, haven't we, over here?
Yeah.
So maybe we might get more information for then.
I'm sure we probably will. It's within a year almost now of the launch. You're going to have to start releasing it.
Do you think Microsoft might wait until E3, or is that too late?
Too late.
Because now we know more information on PlayStation 5 with how the hardware is going to work with everything else. Do you think? Because there are going to be very similar machines, to be honest. There's not going to be much in it.
No, there's not.
We know that Phil Spencer said that we are working on getting you the most powerful console again with the Xbox in the next generation, but there's not a lot. I don't think there'll be a lot in it, and I don't know whether or not we'll be all screaming with this sort of loyalty to one console, really.
Of course we will. Of course, people will.
I mean, it's in their blood sometimes still, isn't it? But we'll see.
Some people just do it just because they can do it.
Or because they're probably not closed-minded a bit.
Yeah.
When you've got to really wake up and smell the coffee about this, it's...
Yeah, because the only way to have it is to have all of them and then play PC.
Yeah. Well, so even though you're a PC gamer at heart, do you think, are you going to go for the Xbox first? Or so shall I re-say that? Are you going to go for a console at all?
Yes. I am.
Will you go for both on day one or not? It's a lot of money.
Yes, it is.
We are going to talk about £1,000 here.
Yes, we are.
You'd like. Thing is, I think what the unfortunate thing would be is that if you do go for two consoles,
yeah,
it's what you're going to play and what you're going to play on.
Well, both are going to be backwardly compatible this time, aren't they?
Yeah, but what I mean is, going on to the second part of the question, with what titles are going to be coming out, you can only play one thing at a time.
Yes,
and
you can.
Whether or not you can bounce between two new consoles and play new games on both, or stick to one and then just wait for 6 months before you pick up the next one.
You see, I might do something completely different.
Not buy at all, go on.
Yeah, not buy at all, but actually upgrade my PC. Because even though my PC is at the higher end of the spec, it could go higher.
Do you think, because obviously on the second part of this question, one of the big launch titles for the Xbox will be the new Halo?
Yeah.
And that will be on PC as well?
It will.
So would you think of getting your PC up a bit higher for that? We don't know what the specs of the game's going to be yet, but it's going to be. I'm sure your PC will still run it now.
I've got a 1080 in my machine, so I'm pretty sure it'll do everything apart from ray tracing. And I've got it's an i7, so it's a decent spec. But what I want to do is I want to get more cores on my machine, and I can't. I'm looking at the difference between the i9 and the Ryzen 9. At the moment and the Ryzen sort of winning because of the amount of cores it's got at the moment. But whether or not that stays the same, I don't know. I can't really say at the moment. But in terms of getting both consoles, I will have both consoles. Whether or not that's at day one is open to
the bank balance and debate.
Yeah. Yeah, basically, I think. It's about whether or not I can save up the pennies in time for that. Because I've got at the moment, I'm doing up a house, which is going to cost me thousands. So, I've got to consider that first, but then I will have a bankroll coming in from that.
Yeah, but that's going to be upkeep as well and stuff like that. But yeah, it's
the upkeep's going to be minimal though.
Well, yeah, it depends what your being a landlord is and what you're going to get as a tenant as well. So
yeah,
because they're not all great tenants out there sometimes.
No, well, I'm having it all managed through a management service.
Yeah,
because they take a percentage cut, and it's quite small. So I'll let them manage all of those problems.
Okay. So, what about titles then on this second part? I mean, Halo's as a definite.
Yeah, Halo will be a definite.
What about for PS4? Anything? Or say PS5? What do you think?
Well, let's face it, we haven't had a Uncharted for a bit.
No.
Could be Nathan Drake's daughter.
But we will get another version of The Last of Us Part 2 coming out with the console.
Yeah, but that's going to be out after launch, it said, I think.
Yeah, well, the game's coming out early next year anyway, isn't it? So
yeah.
So we'll have to wait and see on titles leading up to E3.
Yeah. I don't know, I'm trying to think of... I wouldn't be surprised if there's not a God of War.
I'm hoping we're going to see a Fable title.
Not on PlayStation.
On Xbox. I'm sure there's talk about it.
Yeah, I think that there's so many people that want it, they'd be foolish to ignore that.
Whether they reboot it or not will be a good idea. Probably.
Yeah, probably.
But yeah, okay.
Okay.
So, Richard Matlock. Does anyone else get sore or crampy hands while gaming, or is it just me getting old?
No, I get it. If you're having a long gaming session, you can get that. Do you?
It's not too bad, but I sometimes do feel it in some. But as I say, you will be surprised if you start getting arthritis in your fingers as you get older.
You can get repetitive strain injury as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's entirely possible. Just if you're getting a lot of problems, so I would suggest that you see your doctor about it. Yeah. Definitely.
Absolutely. Okay.
Okay, so this is a one for you, I think, more than anyone, Steve.
Well, I can't see at the minute, so I'll just take my glasses off while I'm just wiping my eyes. You carry on.
Okay, so
I'll listen.
Craig Cole, Bungie question. They announced that they're working on a new game. What would you like it to be? And do you think they owe it to Destiny PvP community to bring back Trials 2? Excuse me. I'm not a PvP player myself, but I know a lot of people feel let down and ripped off as they thought it was for Trials and 2 years ago and still nothing.
Well, I can't confirm or deny, but what I've been hearing is that Trials will be back. And
do you think that might be the next season?
I don't know. I really don't know. But there is big talk about Trials, and I weren't sure if it was in some of the database about it, but they do know what people want, and Bungie know what they want to deliver. But yeah, it is. It will be coming for sure. Now, regarding this other game they're going to be working on. Now, I'm assuming they're going to be working on the next Destiny at some point, but it won't be for a couple of years. So whether or not they're working on some of this other game, I haven't got a clue what it could be. I just can't put my head around it. I mean, surely they're working on Destiny 3 now, or a small team would be.
Yeah, they'll be working on that.
But there is talk of another title that is unnamed at the moment. Whether or not that's Destiny 3 or something else, I haven't got a Scoobies.
It'll probably be another FPS, because that's what Bungie do.
Yeah. What if it was a spin-off Halo game?
They're not going to do that because of the copyright.
No, I know, yeah. It'd be nice, though, if they got to do it.
Yeah, but 343 Studios do it.
They do now, yeah. It's they sold that off anyway, didn't they?
They did.
Yeah. Who knows? I mean, we'll know in a long time to come, but I think Destiny 2 is with us for another couple of years at least.
Mm.
That's fine.
Well, to be honest, they don't need to keep re-releasing Destiny. They just keep doing an expansion every year.
Yeah, exactly. But what they might want to do once the new console's in place is to bring out another Destiny, but I still would like to have my character come over.
Yeah.
And not reset back to 0.
No. I'm
sure they'll be able to do something like that now, but we'll see. It's a long way off.
What did you think of the controversy that they brought in about the buy your upgrade of Light to 900?
Oh, I saw that. No, but do you know what? If you haven't got the time to do it and you want to spend that, just rock it, you know?
Yeah.
I think it was it 2,000 silver?
Something like that, which is about 20 quid, isn't it?
I'm not sure if it depends what deal you get on the silver part, you know, what you buy.
Yeah.
But some people might want to do it because they haven't got the time to put the hours in.
Mm.
You know, so again, it's a yes or no. It's an option for you to take if you want it. You don't have to do it.
No.
And if you want to spend some time working on your other character, and it's not too difficult to get there anyway, but it's just again, it's have you got the time? Are you a gamer that hasn't got enough? You've got other jobs to do. You might be a family dad that only gets a certain amount of time, but you really would like to get those other characters up. So you just go, well, sod this. I'm putting money into the game anyway by doing it, and you know, it goes back into the pot for them to bring out other content.
Yeah.
That's how I look at it anyway, because I don't mind dipping in on the silver now and then, because I know it's going straight back to Bungie.
Yeah.
So, okay, what's next? Jason
is asking, what console do you think was the most overlooked? The Vita was a decent console with next to nothing of note released during its lifespan, and the Wii U didn't sell well as Nintendo bungled the marketing, and most non-hardcore gamers thought the tablet was just an addition to the Wii.
This is my question, but never mind. I think it's a shame that the Vita didn't get a decent stab at it.
Yeah.
But I always feel that these companies feel that they're a bit behind with what the Switch does and what Nintendo do for handheld gaming. It's their baby, isn't it, really?
Yeah, they're the king of handhelds.
Yeah, and that's where everyone looks to for... I mean, I had one for a while, and that was quite handy to have.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think... You know, again, it depends on the company, on Sony and everyone else, where they want to put their money and time into for releasing games.
Mm.
But I mean, again, you need a lot of people to have a handheld to warrant actually making these games and bringing them out.
Yeah.
So,
I think the Dreamcast was an overlooked one.
Because it was an interesting one for the time.
Well, it was the future, you know, online multiplayer gaming with it. Because they had the telephone line in, they had those memory units and stuff like that, but it was the least powerful out of that gen, but it was the most powerful machine at the time of its release because it was the first one of that gen.
Okay.
Because you think about it, it was going up against the Xbox and the PS2, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So it was just sort of like halfway between the PS1 and the PS2 in terms of power. But I had one of those machines, they were great. And also the Wii U was a great machine for its time. You know, you had that tablet that you played on, but you had the base unit as well. And then you could play on the tablet bit, or you could also play on screen and have like maps on the tablet and stuff like that. So it was well worth it.
Yeah, yeah.
And it looked really good, you know, it's like their version of Mario and that, it looked absolutely gorgeous. So, shame about that console. And there was some good titles on there, like Xenoblade Chronicles.
They have a few Star Wars titles on there as well, don't they?
I can't remember.
Yeah, I think so.
I can't remember, but, you know, they had Bayonetta.
And they had a Resident Evil
Yes.
as well, didn't they? They had one of those on there.
Yeah, Bayonetta, there was, I think there was Call of Duty on there as well. Can't imagine there being that many people playing it on the Wii U, though. But it was a good console for its time.
Yeah.
It had a lot of innovation in it, and it was backwardly compatible with the Wii.
Yeah, yeah.
So, you know, why wouldn't you want one? Really?
Yeah, we all had a Wii of some kind at one point.
Yeah.
We all had Wii Fit.
Everybody had Wii Fit.
Even
I
his
think
dog
you
had
were
Wii
legally
Fit.
obliged to have Wii Fit if you had a Wii, weren't you?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know about that new thing they've got though.
You think?
The new version of Wii Fit
I've not seen it.
with the Switch. We'll Google that later and have a look.
I will do.
Things strapped to your body and all sorts.
Ah, right, okay. Right, do you
Okay.
want to do Nikki?
Yeah, I'll do Nicky's. And where's my goggles? You see, I'm getting old. Okay, so Nicky Wilson says El Camino came out on Netflix this week. What do you think about movies and TV streaming swapping format? And what movies, TVs would you like to see made, or like to see? So he likes. Sorry, what movies and TVs would you like to see made? He'd like to see a Buffy movie.
Well, there was a Buffy movie.
Was that just a TV extension, though?
No, it was Sean Penn. Was it Sean Penn? No, not Sean Penn. He was on Beverly Hills 90210.
Oh, okay.
What was it? He died recently.
Yeah, that was. Was it Luke Perry?
Luke Perry, that's who I'm thinking of, yeah.
Yeah.
Luke Perry. Yeah, he was in the Buffy movie. But it didn't have Sarah Michelle Gellar. Had a different Buffy.
Yeah, can't have that.
And it was before the Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I'll tell you what I would like to see. I would like to see a Buffy the Vampire Slayer movie with Sarah Michelle Gellar and the woman who played Faith, and, you know, Anthony Stewart Head as Giles. But now,
Yeah.
you know, a continuation of that
I don't-
universe to now.
So what he's talking about movies and TV swapping format?
Yeah, well, do you know what El Camino is, don't you?
Is it Breaking Bad or something?
It is. It's Aaron Paul's character off Breaking Bad. It's the what happened to him. So I watched this the other day. To be honest, watching it, in some respects, it reminded me of a certain Quentin Tarantino film. Because it was going backwards and forwards in time, and everything was out of place.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you know what I'm all about, Pulp Fiction. It was delivered in that sort of way. I enjoyed it, but it was sometimes if you missed a bit, like, you know, you went and got a drink, came back, and you sat back down, it was a little bit hard to understand why you were back in the past again. Because there was no sort of like, linking bits.
Yeah.
But I think the thing is that what they wanted to do was just tie it off.
Right.
I think there'd been lots of people wanting to know what happened to Jesse at the end of Breaking Bad, and that's why this, made-for-TV movie came about.
Yeah. I mean, at the moment, there's quite a lot. We're saturated with TV shows at the minute.
Yeah.
I mean, oversaturated. And that's not a bad thing, but there's so much TV, you can't watch everything.
No, you can't.
I mean, you can try, but it's like how you spread your time out. We got a couple of Star Treks coming out. We've got a Star Wars series coming out on Disney Channel.
One of many coming out on Disney Channel.
Yeah, but I've just said that as your general format because there can be so much. But there's so much. I mean, is there anything that's missing out there that you'd like to see? There's a new series of Lost in Space, isn't there, coming?
Yeah. How about a redo of Space 1999, but brought up to date?
So you would have the show in the same format?
No, reboot.
Yeah, but so you'd have.
Maybe do it completely differently so that the moon isn't blown out of orbit.
I mean, I think I'd prefer the models to CGI. They did it because today's standards, you wouldn't have the model building of Supermarination that we had then.
No,
with all the ships, but they'd all be CGI'd up now.
But that wasn't Supermarination. Supermarination was the puppets. Space 1999 was live action.
Yeah, but I'm on about how they used
the models.
The models, which would have been the ships, which is the same as Thunderbirds.
Yeah.
That's why I called it that. But you're going to have. I don't think I'd want to see them in CGI.
And what about UFO then?
I don't know, because they did do a film of that, didn't they? Which was an extended TV episode, I think.
It was a TV episode made into a movie, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, the UFO TV series. Let's see that made into a movie.
Yeah,
Maybe.
How about V even? I mean, bringing that back.
They brought it back though, and it didn't work.
It did, but they didn't carry on. It got cancelled right at a pivotal point, believe it or not.
I know, so we'll never actually know.
I was gutted, absolutely gutted, because I did enjoy the show.
Yeah, I enjoyed it as well, but we'll never see a sequel to it.
No, we won't, unfortunately not.
And the redoing Battlestar Galactica again. What about Buck Rogers? We haven't had a redo of Buck Rogers for a while.
No, that would be good. Well, how about Flash Gordon, the TV series?
They did a reboot of that about 5 or 10 years ago.
What, Flash Gordon?
Yeah.
What, after the movie?
Well, the movie was in the 70s, mate. This is 5 or 10 years ago. I don't even remember it coming out. Yeah, it was on Sci-Fi Channel. It was...
that would have been dreadful, though.
It was all right. It wasn't fantastic.
But if someone like Netflix grabbed it and made more of a meal out of it...
Yeah, but you got to bear in mind, it was like 10 years ago that they did this. I think it had the guy who was Lana Lang's boyfriend on Smallville on season 1, not Clark Kent, the football player boyfriend. I think he ended up being Flash Gordon. But, like, Flash Gordon lived with his mum and stuff like that, from what I can remember. It was a bit weird. But a proper Flash Gordon would be good. So, yeah, there's a few things to go at.
But, I mean, there's going to be loads of stuff coming out, and we're going to be, it's not a bad thing, but we're oversaturated now. Like, it's incredible. It really is just, You know, it's so much to choose from.
Definitely.
You know. Okay,
last one then. So, Paul Wilson, what is your ideal length of gameplay for a AAA single-player game purchase? I find a good 12 to 16 hours to complete. For completion is good for me. The length of time holds my interest and leaves me wanting more, and not left with another game in my uncompleted pile of shame.
I think it depends on how good you enjoy the story. Because some games you don't want them to end.
Well, I played 100 hours of Assassin's Creed Odyssey. And I loved the game, and I didn't want it to end. Perfect example.
You know, and the Tomb Raider games, I mean, I'm not sure about the last one, but they're about 20 hours long, were they?
Something like that. But to be honest, I think that the Tomb Raider games have lost it. The reboot in the trilogy of new ones, the first one, was really good. And I played it on every format going. But the second and third one, I can't get into them in the same way. I think that the second one, I lost it somewhere in the Russian base, and the third one, I lost it when you had to walk around that village.
Yeah.
Because that just felt like such a chore. I was enjoying it up until then, but that bit, it wasn't Tomb Raider for me, doing that sort of stuff. So I just think that they've kind of ruined it a bit. After what was a really promising start with Tomb Raider.
Yeah. But yeah.
What about yourself?
Well, Tomb Raider comes to mind about... if I'm enjoying it, I can last as long as it wants. You know, I can't remember... I can't remember how long the Bioshock games last for, but they lasted quite a while.
Let's change it around on its head a little bit. What is the minimum amount of time that if you've spent 50 quid on a game, brand new, day one launch, rather than waiting for it to be cheaper, what is the minimum amount of time you would expect to get gameplay out of that?
I don't know, that's the thing, you see, that's why, I mean, with the price hike in games now, which we're looking at 50 quid to £70 a game, you're going for a collector's edition or a special edition.
Yeah.
But you want a lifetime of hours out of that, didn't you? I mean, a 5-6 hour campaign won't cut it.
No. What about a game like Hellblade that was half the price, but was 8 hours?
No. I mean, for an 8 hour game, you want to be spending 20 quid on that.
We'd be spending 25 quid, so it's not much difference.
No. So, but I don't know how did you complete God of War?
Yes.
How long was that roughly?
30 hours.
See, I think 30 hours is a better pill to swallow for a £50 game, single player.
Yeah. But for a £25 game, you'd be looking at, what, 10 hours?
Yeah. Just sort of half of it. But when you're buying something like Call of Duty, which is going to have a small campaign and it's really based on multiplayer,
yeah,
that's not good value.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting debate on that. It's very difficult to pin that. It depends on your story and what you've enjoyed and how much you get enjoyment out of it.
I think it depends upon the type of genre it is as well, because you buy some games knowing that they're going to last forever, and some games knowing that they're going to be a finite experience that you're probably only going to want to experience once. So, for example, Tetris last forever because it's that nature of game. You know, it's
hence we have that new addition to, you know, like we've got Game Pass now that just makes it so much easier.
Yeah. A game like Elite Dangerous last forever. You're never going to go through all 18 billion locations that are on that.
Not at all, no.
No, you're not going to live long enough to be able to do it. So that's not an issue. But looking at the opposite end of the spectrum, where you've got a game like Hellblade, for the price, I thought Hellblade was a hell of a game. But for me, I completed it in about 7 hours and 20 minutes.
Yeah.
But it was £25. So I think it's not necessarily directly linked to the length of the game. You want as long as you can have, that's not going to make it boring. But I think a lot of it's to do with the quality of the game as well. And Hellblade was a good quality game, but it wasn't long. But it was also half the price of the other retail games. It was like a high-end AAA indie game, for want of a better term.
Yeah.
As opposed to a big distributor AAA game.
Not easy to pinpoint, is it, really?
No, not really. But, you buy what you like, don't you, at the end of the day? You know the genres that you like, you know how much you enjoy them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Anyway, that's the end of our questions for this week, so it's signing off time. So, Steve, do you want to do your exit stuff?
Yep, so Twitter's the best place to find me, is at Steve007. The PSN ID is the real Steve007. Xbox is Steve007. And really, a few people just direct DM me on Twitter. I'm always welcome to have a chat or anything you want to know about. And Haydn, you?
Yep, so I'm basically HERJ UK on everything. So whether that's Twitter, PSN, Xbox Live, Steam, Good Old Games, Origin, Epic Game Launcher, whatever you like. If you want to get in contact with the show, you can contact podcast at popculturegamers.co.uk. The website is popculturegamers.podbean.com. We have a Facebook group as well. You can access the show from Podbean, iTunes, Spotify, or you can even use our Alexa skill on your Amazon Echo and use that to listen to the show as well. You can support us on our Patreon, or if you don't want to do that and you've got a Amazon Prime subscription, then you can also just subscribe to my YouTube channel. I do try and do some YouTubes. I haven't been doing the last couple of weeks, but I'm going to try and get back to that. So you'll be able to do that there. Also, if you don't want to support the show in that way, you can support the show by retweeting us, or you can put us in other groups so that spread the word, or just give us an iTunes review. That would be nice. We haven't had one of those for a while. And that's it for another show. 57 in the bag. So we'll get this out and hope you'll have a good week, and it's a good night from me.
And a good night from him.
Good night.
Good night.
You are about to witness history in the making.